Checking my email like someone who types with boxing gloves on. Pretty sure no one will get that reference. Dear Sir, it has come to my attention that in 22 episodes of your show, Comic Showcase, you have yet to cover a female superhero. What's wrong with you? Don't you know how important female superheroes are to the genre? Don't you realize how strong and influential they are? Please correct this gross miscarriage of justice and show some support of those of the feminine persuasion. Female superheroes need better representation on your show. Do it. Do it now. Signed, Totally Not Angry Lady Fan. Did the women on the show I've covered just not count? Hey, I got a new one. Already? No, they do not. Well, I'll just put this in the maybe pile. Hang on, another one? Dear Seafarer, please review a comic starring a female superhero. You owe me, man. Even though we've never met before, I totally like your videos. Also, can I be a Starbolt? Please? Attached to the character outline, and I think you'll love it. Signed, Joe Somebody. Weirdo. Do people really think that they can just bully me into this? Wait. These things come in threes. I should be getting a new email in 3, 2, 1. Yep. Here we go. Dear Seafarer, talk about female superheroes, please. Okay, bye. Signed, Lazy Bones. Okay. This is going to be one of those days, isn't it? The women of the Marvel Universe are strong, courageous, and true, and some of them are among my favorite characters of all time. Some of them are strong, matriarchal types like Susan Richards, aka the Invisible Woman, who, by the way, is the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four. Some on the surface may appear to just be female counterparts to male heroes like She-Hulk and Spider-Woman. Some even control the very weather itself, like Storm of the X-Men, and are even powerful telepaths like Jean Grey. Hey, a few are even master spies like Black Widow. Whatever the case, and whoever the heroine was, Marvel has known how to entice readers with strong female leads for years, and Carol Danvers, the latest heroine to call herself Captain Marvel, is no exception. What's that? DC Comics already has a character with that name? Well, you're right, but Carol is different. Created in 1977 by Roy Thomas and Gene Colan, Carol originally was a female version of Marvel's first Captain Marvel, Mar-Vell, and pretty much had the same powers. Back then, she was calling herself Miss Marvel, a name that stuck with her on and off for 30 plus years. Heh, oh Marvel, you were so original with your character names in the 70s, weren't you? Gotta toss in that company reference with your characters, right? Danvers got her powers after being infused with alien DNA. No. I'm trying to keep this as clean as possible, guys. Whew. Good thing I'm not reviewing Avengers 200. I left that one to the professionals. Over the years, Carol had become a mainstay of teams such as the Avengers, cosmic groups like the Starjammers, and has even donated her powers to Rogue of the X-Men. A bit unwillingly, sadly. She got better. She even battled alcoholism and managed to rise beyond that to become what many people believe is the flagship heroine of the Marvel Universe. Though I'm pretty sure the Invisible Woman would have something to say about that. Carol is also the latest on a long line of Marvel characters that have the Captain Marvel name. Unlike the others, she pays homage to her old and dearly departed friend Maribel by taking his mantle and wearing a costume that is very similar to the one he wore. Very classy if you ask me. The suit looks neat and is very practical when you compare it to some of the other costumes she wore. I really have to applaud Marvel for designing a costume for her that's both functional and very stylish. Written by Kelly Sue DeConnick, Captain Marvel #1 is part of the same Marvel Now wave that has brought the New Warriors back earlier this year. DeConnick is no stranger to Carol though, as she has been working on her book for 2 years and has now decided to take our blonde friend on a journey to find herself. DeConnick has already won serious acclaim for her work on the last Captain Marvel volume, where Carol lost her memories in a selfless act that saves New York City. For this new volume, DeConnick wanted to sacrifice to mean something. The character may have her flaws, but she has the drive to do better and be better. Captain Marvel, she added in an interview with Comic Book Resources, should be identifiable in that regard, and wants her writing to show what she wants in a heroine. For example, she can identify with the character wanting to protect her friends, and also wanting to be a better heroine. Carol has always been a deep character to me. Let's see where DeConnick takes her as we dig into Captain Marvel #1. I don't know why, but I really like this cover. Carol's pose just conveys the feeling that she is a badass. She's tough, and you really don't want to mess with her. The colors of her costume are a great blend of primary colors, and the bright background just makes it seem like she's bringing hope, while at the same time saying, "I'm tough," without really trying. Our journey begins on a planet far, far away, as Carol leads a ragtag band of what looks to be cosplayers towards Mos Eisley. With her group is a young girl named Tick, who seems to be rather close to Carol. Our heroine here seems to be in charge of whatever the situation is, and orders the group to split up. Her friend Tick notices a couple space policemen from the planet Spartax. A couple of Stormish troopers, a desert town, and a planet far, far away. What movie is this? Oh, I know! Star Trek! Carol notices the cops and tries to appear like a normal customer, even though she's wearing bright primary colors against a background colored in earth tones. I'm sure she doesn't stand out. Cap and her friend find the guy that they were looking for when the space cops from earlier approach her and ask for identification. I'm not the superhero you're looking for. You're not the superhero I'm looking for. You will make sure I get a movie out before Wonder Woman. I will make sure... Hey! Well, it's worth a try. Oh, just my luck. Carol did make a Star Wars reference. The joke I made didn't go to waste. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Classic Carol. Of course the soldiers don't get the reference, and she causes a distraction. Unfortunately, the man that they were chasing says that they are with the Alliance. I used up my Star Wars reference quota on that last bit. Maybe I can get away with making a World of Warcraft one. A brawl breaks out in the streets, and in the confusion, Carol gets separated from Tick once their ride appears. Carol calls for her, and Tick tosses her a box as she gets mobbed by a pile of people. Sadly, Tick is nowhere to be found as Captain Marvel hovers in the air, calling her name. Way to start a space adventure? What's next? We cut to 6 weeks earlier, where Carol is going through the motions of being a heroine with her friend and fellow Avenger, James Rhodes, aka Iron Patriot. The pair come across a strange pod, and she hopes that it's not a nuke as she tosses it in the hopes of not crashing it into the city. Rhodes confirms that there were no explosives on board, and is thus not a nuke. However, they soon find that there is someone inside the pod. Someone who looks a lot like Tick. Later that night, Carol is at her Manhattan apartment, inside the head of the Statue of Liberty. I'm not sure if this is symbolism. Anyway, she's reciting the famous Statue of Liberty poem. Truth be told, this is kind of symbolic for the theme of the book. The statue welcomes everyone to the country's shores, and Carol wonders what her place is in the country. Kinda deep. I don't know if I'm interpreting it right. Someone off-screen asks what she wanted to be. Carol is uncertain since she lost her memories and replies that she wanted to be everything. It turns out she had been talking to a little girl who was probably introduced in the last volume. The girl asks about the person she and Rose may have rescued, and Carol is unsure what will happen to her. She then asks Cap if she could have a play date with Iron Man? Ugh, kid. I think Tony's idea of a play date involves 3 supermodels and an all-night party. This kid's alright though. She's heading to bed and has a quick conversation with her mom as Carol goes to see Tony. She wonders if Carol's okay. She seemed out of sorts when talking about Lady Liberty. In the end, her mom says that she's just restless, and to stop being restless, she tells her daughter that you need to keep searching until you find out what you need to do. This moment brought to you by Kodak. Tony showed up to talk to her about the alien from earlier, while at the same time bonking some heads around. This is my kind of debriefing. Look at that guy shooting at Carol, expecting it to do something. He must be new. Tony explains that the girl has no home planet. Not anymore since it was destroyed. A group did survive and set up a colony there, but the Avengers aren't sure if they survived or not. So Carol says that they have to figure out where home is. This whole mess, for some reason, also got Tony thinking that there needs to be an Avengers presence in space. He got the idea from hanging out with the Guardians of the Galaxy a while back, and hints at needing someone to test the waters out there. Carol goes to offer herself since she needs time to think, when Tony suggests Rhodes. She is a bit shocked and Tony flies off, giggling. Someone's in an odd mood tonight. Oh, come on, Tony. She's the best pilot you could have. And that's another Star Wars reference. I wonder how many more I can cram in. The next day, Carol and Rose are having a heart-to-heart at a birthday party. Looks like they're having a little more than a heart-to-heart here. They banter a bit, and Rhodes wants to know if something's bothering her. Is it her on and off boyfriend? Is it the fact that they were making out a second ago and are suddenly in a deep conversation? Nope, it seems the only thing that she is not sure of is herself. She then explains how she wants to go out into space. Rhodes, being ever the gentleman, asks if that's what she wants, and says that he's never going to be the one that holds her down. I've got the strangest song in my head now. I don't know what it is, but I just know that I'm never going to give you up. I'm never going to let you go. I'm never going to run around and desert you. Our comic ends with Carol narrating to herself, which I think really drives home her whole motivation in this comic and sets up future issues. Have you ever seen a little girl run so fast she falls down? There's an instant, a fraction of a second before the world catches hold of her again. A moment where she's outrun every doubt and fear she's ever had about herself, and she flies. In that one moment, every little girl flies. I need to find that again. Like taking a car out to the desert to see how fast it can go. I need to find the edge of me. And maybe, if I fly far enough, I'll be able to turn around and look at the world and see where I belong. That's powerful stuff. That's Oprah stuff. Let's take a closer look at Captain Marvel #1. Right off the bat, you should notice that Captain Marvel #1 is a continuation of the last volume, since we see characters from there showing up here again to tie up loose ends, or to give our heroine someone to talk to. This doesn't discourage new readers though, far from it. We're introduced to a character who wants to find herself in a universe full of heroes. Readers are often drawn to characters like that who are deep without sounding trite, especially when it's a superhero who happens to be a female. Writing a heroine can be tough, as you always want to avoid the trope of having her either be a token damsel in distress or a completely unreadable and unlikable character. Here it seems we don't have that problem. Carol to me seems quite likable, as she usually does, and DeConnick really captures that essence of the character. To me, she shows who Carol is at heart, A woman trying to make do with what she can without crumbling into a heap, which, by the way, would annoy me greatly. And like she said in interviews, Carol will try to find herself. Because of this, she isn't a damsel in distress, or a hard-to-read person. She's a person, period, because she's looking beyond what she can do in order to realize her potential. Writing something like that takes talent, and I think DeConnick is up to that task. Like I said before, Carol is a character with a complex and somewhat tragic history behind her. She is a character who had gone through the edge and back, and through every tragedy and dramatic event, she had come out swinging, depending on the writer, of course. It takes a talented writer to understand a character's background and history and do something with it in order to move a character forward and make him or her grow. Carol and other women like her in comics are no longer content to just be damsels in distress. They are human and will go through the faults and foibles their male counterparts in the big two will go through. That is how characters evolve and change into icons of a universe full of many colorful characters. I am pleased to report that Carol Danvers is a welcome icon for heroines in the Marvel Universe. She isn't as cool as the Invisible Woman, though. Keep rocking those force fields, Susie. Overall, I like this book, and give it a well-deserved thumbs up, because it's refreshing to me to see a female superhero take center stage again, and basically show both sexes that they can reach for the stars. Sure, we have other books like She-Hulk, and, well, anything done by DC's Gail Simone that could also serve as a role model for kids. I think it's Carol who shows that despite her troubled past, she will prove herself, not to others, but to herself. Captain Marvel is a series I am definitely going to check out, and I suggest you do the same. It's got great characters and a great female lead, and who knows, maybe we'll get a Captain Marvel movie out of her. You never know. Until then, I'm Seafarer. Thanks for watching Comic Showcase, and I'll see you in the funny pages. Also, new background. What do you think? He's back! Yes! Huh. It's about time.